Today's news highlights. Date March 13, 2025. News highlights: Chinese internet celebrity Yi was revoked by the Immigration Department for publicly advocating military reunification in Taiwan, and she was not allowed to apply for it again for 5 years. Interior Minister Liu Shifang stressed that freedom of speech is not an excuse for military reunification, and violations of the law will be severely punished. This case is the first of its kind, and DPP legislators support its implementation in accordance with the law to safeguard national security. The Black Bear Academy warned that the CCP may carry out united front work and infiltration through the Central Commission, and called for greater vigilance and prudent handling of loopholes in the relevant residence system to ensure Taiwan's security and social stability. News highlights: Greenland's elections came to an end, with the pro-business opposition Democratic Party winning 29.9% of the vote, defeating the ruling Syriza coalition and pushing for progressive independence. U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed his desire for Greenland to become U.S. territory, but the majority of residents are against it. Greenland's abundant resources, international attention, and the support of independence are supported by all parties, but the timing is divided. The current Prime Minister has stressed not to sell Greenland and is seeking a broad coalition government to fend off external pressure. News highlights: Senior U.S. and Ukrainian officials held key talks in Saudi Arabia on March 11, during which Ukraine agreed to a 30-day ceasefire with Russia and the United States resumed intelligence sharing and security assistance to Ukraine. The two sides stressed the need to achieve lasting peace and agreed to strengthen economic cooperation and develop Ukraine's mineral resources to reduce the burden of U.S. aid. In addition, the talks focused on humanitarian assistance, prisoner exchanges and the repatriation of children. The United States has pledged to discuss the details of the ceasefire with Russia and to engage European partners in the peace process. At the same time, Russia and Ukraine continue to carry out drone attacks, and the fighting situation remains tense. News highlights: at present, the resumption of cross-strait tourism is still at a deadlock, and there has been no progress in the arrival of mainland tourists to Taiwan, and the core problem is still the lack of mutual trust between the two sides. Although China has repeatedly expressed its willingness to allow mainland tourists to come to Taiwan, the Taiwan side still requires consultations through the Tourism Mini-National Council, which has led to a delay in the procedure. In addition, the asymmetry of cross-strait tourism policies has also caused controversy. For example, Taiwanese travel to mainland China is relatively free, while mainland tourists are restricted from coming to Taiwan. If we want to truly promote the normalization of cross-strait tourism, we may need to put aside political disputes and seek a mutually acceptable solution on the basis of technical consultations. News highlights: Robert Kiyosaki warned of the imminent biggest stock market crash in history, arguing that the DC retirement plan is risky and the fiat currency system is like a Ponzi scheme, and recommends investing in physical gold, silver, and Bitcoin as a hedge. He criticized the lack of financial education, emphasized ETF risk, and supported Trump's push for Bitcoin policy. He is bullish on Bitcoin's future and slams panic sellers. While this forecast is a cause for concern, it remains to be seen how the market will move and investors should be cautious. News highlights: Taiwan stocks opened higher and closed higher yesterday, 12th, under the support of the three major signals of short-term decline, technical indicators bottoming out and buying surging to regain the annual line. The highest intraday rise was 320 points, led by electronic weight stocks and memory, silicon photonics, and other groups were strong. The three major legal persons sold more than 17.83 billion yuan, foreign capital sold 12 in a row, and the public stock bank bought 9 in a row. On the technical side, the KD indicator entered the oversold area, coupled with the entry of the main force in the market, which encouraged Taiwan stocks to break the bottom and show a deep rebound trend. News highlights: foreign media reported that TSMC, at the request of the Trump administration in the United States, proposed to jointly operate Intel wafer manufacturing with NVIDIA, Huawei, Broadcom, and Qualcomm, and the industry speculated on 3 possible scenarios. First, NVIDIA and other US companies have expanded their orders for Intel, and TSMC is facing technology outflow and order sharing, with the highest probability. Second, only assisting in the improvement of technology but not involving orders still has long-term competitive risks and low probability. Third, TSMC's pure investment maintains the status quo, with the lowest risk but not a long-term solution. The industry believes that maintaining the technology and ecological partnership and avoiding the impact of TSMC's neutral foundry model is the key to long-term development. News highlights: there are 4 major changes to the comprehensive tax declaration in 2024, and the public can enjoy the benefits of tax reduction. First of all, the tax exemption and standard deduction will be raised, such as the tax exemption will be increased to 97,000 yuan, and the special deduction for salary and physical and mental disabilities will be adjusted to 218,000 yuan. Secondly, the basic living expenses have been increased to 210,000 yuan, benefiting many families. Thirdly, the rent expenditure has been changed to a special deduction, which can be used in conjunction with the standard deduction, and the tax deduction for renters is more significant. Finally, the school deduction for young children will be increased, and some of the wealth exclusion provisions will be cancelled, which will be applied to a wider range of objects. Experts advise the public to confirm their qualifications in advance and grasp the tax incentives. News highlights: OpenAI launched a developer tool designed for AI agents on the 11th to help developers create dedicated AI agents. As more enterprises and developers use OpenAI tools, the demand for servers is expected to increase significantly, driving the growth of the related server supply chain. In addition to Microsoft, Oracle, and CoreWeave have also joined in to provide cloud services and signed a partnership agreement with OpenAI. Taiwanese server foundries such as Honhai and Quanta will benefit, and Quanta expects triple-digit growth in AI server revenue. News highlights: senior actress Zhang Lili, who was once the head of China Television, married a wealthy businessman Lin Date at the age of 25, and divorced after marriage due to sexlessness and her husband's gambling problems. She is well-groomed, recently had dinner with a silver-haired man, and revealed that the two were just friends. Zhang Lili said that she enjoyed her single life, and emphasized that she was active in fitness, often went to the gym, and said that she needed to work hard to make her life better. Despite being single, she often travels abroad to visit her 2 children. News highlights: artist Wang Delu appeared at Taipei Railway Station this morning, 13th, ready to report for enlistment, and will go to Chenggong Ridge to receive alternative training. Despite recent cases of evasion of military service and other judicial cases on suspicion of falsifying medical certificates, Wang Delu still reported in accordance with regulations. He appeared wearing a dark blue fur hat and looked haggard, did not respond to questions from the media, and will be driven to the camp with a special car. Wang Delu's case is still pending, and while facing legal challenges, he will officially begin military training today. News highlights: although Minister of Economic Affairs Kwok Chi-Fai has made a public apology and called the chairman of the Down Syndrome Foundation, Lin Zhenxia, despite the controversy caused by the gaffe of Mongolian disease, it has not been able to quell the dissatisfaction of parents. According to the foundation, Kwok has expressed his willingness to visit the special exhibition to learn about Down syndrome. The exhibition will be held from 15 to March 23, with the theme of 321 Creates Our World, hoping to take this opportunity to let the community know more about and support Tang Bao Bao. News highlights: internet celebrity Andy became popular because of the power seizure with Jianing, and the number of channel subscribers exceeded 1 million at 3:11 a.m. on the 13th, becoming the fastest million-dollar YouTuber in Taiwan. Andy thanked fans for their support and revealed that he had appointed a lawyer to handle the legal matters related to the seizure of power. Since the establishment of the channel in 2013, Andy's videos have quickly gained attention, especially the recently revealed insider video of the seizure of power, which has exceeded 6.13 million views and received a large number of fans to support and encourage. News highlights: in response to the fire incident of mobile power supply in South Korea's Busan Airlines, which affected flight safety, 6 Taiwanese airlines, including China Airlines, Evergreen, Xingyu and Tiger Air, have completely banned the use of mobile power banks on board. The latest news points out that Singapore Airlines has also joined the ban and stipulated that passengers can carry no more than 100 Wh of mobile power capacity, which must be approved by the airline. This measure is designed to comply with the International Air Transport Association's regulations on the transport of dangerous goods and to avoid fire or explosion caused by mobile power banks in low-voltage environments. News highlights: the Taichung Shinkong Mitsukoshi gas explosion caused injuries to 7 members of a family of 4 generations surnamed Deng from Macau, and 2 of the elders unfortunately died. Among the victims, a 2-year-old girl died of a serious brain injury on March 7, becoming the 5th victim. The accident occurred on February 13, when the girl and her family were traveling to Taiwan from Macau and were hit by an air explosion while passing through Shinkong Mitsukoshi. The girl's family has been able to return to Macau and receive psychological counseling and support. News highlights: with the tax filing season approaching, Zhang Kiwi, Deputy General Manager of Ernst & Young Family Office, reminded that there are 4 major changes in comprehensive income tax this year. The comprehensive income tax bracket is raised, the basic living expenses are increased, the deduction of rental expenses is adjusted, and the special deduction for preschool children is more favorable. In order to encourage childbirth, the government has expanded the applicable age to children under 6 years old, and the deduction amount for each child has been increased to 150,000 yuan. The special deduction for rental expenses was adjusted from 120,000 yuan to 180,000 yuan, and a new wealth exclusion clause was added. Taxpayers should pay attention to the new requirements and make good use of the tax exemption quota and planning. News highlights: the deletion of the general budget of the central government by the blue and white legislators of the Legislative Yuan has aroused dissatisfaction from all walks of life. In response to the recall action, more than 100 Taiwanese film and television workers participated in the filming of the supporting film. Today, the well-known film marketer Wang Shi released his first video, which immediately aroused a response from netizens. Directed by director Lo Kin-chung, the film uses metaphors to express criticism of the current situation and emphasize the importance of action. Netizens called the video concise and powerful, and said to the ending sentence, "Forget it. Let's go." Agree. News highlights: so far, 34 Pan-Blue legislators have passed the first stage recall proposal, while 16 DPP legislators have failed to meet the standard. According to the results of the local election committee's investigation, a total of 9 of the DPP's 16 recall cases were unqualified due to death re-signatures, especially the recall cases of indigenous legislators, such as Wu Luo and Chen Ying, and the number of death CO signatures was as high as 189. In contrast, among the Pan-Blue legislators, only 12 of the 34 recall cases were related to the death of joint signatures. The recall of 2 legislators is still pending. News highlights: in recent years, the Chinese navies and air forces have continued to operate in the waters southwest of Taiwan, posing a challenge to the Taiwan military. In order to strengthen anti-submarine warfare, the Navy will conduct a live exercise off the coast of Tainan and Kaohsiung from March 31 to June 18, using 21 S-70C-M helicopters and 7 P-3C anti-submarine aircraft flying at altitudes as low as 1,000 feet to 2,000 feet. The exercise was aimed at enhancing anti-submarine capabilities and requiring aircraft and ships to avoid controlled airspace, demonstrating the importance that the Taiwan military attaches to the defense of the sea area. News highlights: artist Wang Dele caused controversy due to evading military service, and today, 13th, he reported to Qinggongling for new training. In the early morning, a large number of media gathered at Taipei main station, and he appeared at 8:58 and reported with other men. He wore a blue fur hat and a black mask, and enlisted in the army from March 13 to April 7. Wang Dele was handed over on bail on suspicion of falsifying medical certificates to evade military service and was transferred to the police in a case of assault, but he still served as scheduled and began his military career today. News highlights: the Central Weather Administration said that today, 13th, under the influence of the front, the weather is unstable, and there is heavy rainfall in some areas. From tomorrow, 14th, to Saturday, 15th, the front will continue to affect and the probability of rain is high. From Saturday to Sunday, a strong continental cold air mass will move south, and the weather will turn colder and the rain will gradually slow down. From next Monday, 17th, the weather will turn dry and cold, and the temperature is expected to rise from next Friday, 21st. Today, the wind is strong in some parts of Lianjiang County with thunder showers and strong gusts, and low-lying areas must be protected from water accumulation. News highlights: the tax filing season in May is approaching, and there will be 4 major changes in the declaration of personal income tax this year. 1. The tax exemption will be increased by 5,000 yuan to 97,000 yuan. 2. Basic living expenses increased by 8,000 yuan to 210,000 yuan. 3. The special deduction for preschool children will be increased to a maximum of 225,000 yuan. 4. The upper limit of deduction for rental expenses will be raised to $180,000. These changes will allow people to get a more favorable deduction when filing their taxes and apply to more households. News highlights: Pingdong's Daishan Ranch is the 3rd largest egg supplier in Taiwan and the only egg merchant to be listed. Since the establishment of the factory in 2007, it has mainly focused on mid to high-end egg products, supplying about 800,000 eggs per day, supplying multinational brands and supermarkets such as McDonald's and Maru Game Seaman. The recent fires have affected about 2 to 3% of production, and egg prices are expected to continue to rise. The Egg Traders Association pointed out that the extreme weather has caused chickens to get sick, which has further led to a reduction in production, and egg prices may continue to rise. News highlights: former Taichung legislator Yang Wengzhen passed away on February 24, less than a year after suffering from terminal pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer is often detected in the middle and late stages because there are no obvious symptoms in the early stage, and it tends to be younger, especially for those with a family history, type 2 diabetes or bad lifestyle habits. Physicians point out that the detection of pancreatic cancer relies on endoscopic ultrasound and advises high-risk groups to be vigilant. Yang Wengzhen was a former legislator, but later turned to land development, and faces a lawsuit for fraudulent land fees, and the case is still being heard. News highlights: artist Huang Zijiao faded out of the showbiz due to the Me Too turmoil, and was revealed to have a large number of underage sexual images. Zheng Qiuchen said on the 11th that Huang Zijiao had achievements in the past, and it would be unfair to him if it was completely erased, and it was also revealed that Huang Zijiao intended to make a comeback last year, and Su Nailan also said that leave food for people. This remark caused dissatisfaction among netizens, and some people mentioned that the artist Ma Qiubi once owed 50 million gambling debts, but he chose to work hard to repay the debts and did not entangle the entertainment industry. Ma Qiubi responded to thank him for his support, and netizens praised him as a real man. News highlights: Andy of YouTuber crowd recently accused his ex-girlfriend Jianing and his mother of stealing his channel, and Jianing's mother also registered a trademark in her own name, which made his YouTube channel and work that he had worked so hard for years come to naught. After Andy released the breaking video, the number of channel subscriptions quickly soared from 200,000 to 1 million, becoming one of the fastest growing internet celebrities in Taiwan. Andy thanked his supporters and posted on Instagram, receiving support from many followers and celebrities. At present, his channel has exceeded 1.01 million subscriptions, and his popularity continues to rise. News highlights: South Korean media Hengzi Research Society broke the news that Kim So-hyun had a relationship with Kim Sa-ryan and demanded 700 million won in compensation from him, which is suspected of causing the tragedy. Yoon Bin, who collaborated with Kim Sa-ryan in Uncle, has always regarded her as a daughter and wanted to help repay the loan, but Kim Sa-ryan refused and chose to make money to pay off the debt by himself. Yoon Bin defended her both inside and outside the play, and even the first person to go to the mourning hall to mourn, and was praised as a truly affectionate and righteous uncle. News highlights: many people love coffee, and Starbucks is a popular choice. Recently, some netizens discovered the hidden offer of the JCB credit card, which allows you to enjoy half-price Starbucks drinks 3 times a year. Holders of JCB Crystal Card or above and successfully log in can obtain the promotion serial number, which can be used at the checkout of the store. Since January 1st, the event has adopted a monthly login system, and each card is limited to 1 login per month, and the cheapest large cup of Americano is only 57 yuan, which makes coffee fans call it super cost-effective. News highlights: 33-year-old Wang Delo first exploded to evade military service, and then was involved in the case of instigating gangsters to beat people, and recently paid 5 million yuan in bail, and now enlisted in the army in accordance with the law for 1 year of alternative service. The case is still under investigation, but he can take leave to appear in court while in service. At 8:56 a.m., he appeared at Taipei Main Station and took the train to Chenggong Ridge to become the focus of the man. He once said that he would never desert from service, but he was exposed for spending millions of dollars and pretending to be sick, and he still had to serve. Whether or not he will become a student of Su Guanggan is undecided, and the service administration said that he can choose a service unit according to his specialty, and join the Public Welfare Ambassador Corps, otherwise it depends on his personal wishes and quota needs. News highlights: Korean media Hengzi Research Institute broke the news that Kim So-hyun had dated 16-year-old Kim Sa-ryan and broke up when she became an adult, causing criticism. Exposed photos show that the two dated in 2016, and Kim Sa-ryan waited for Kim So-hyun to serve in the military when he was in high school, but was mutinied. Netizens said it was inhuman and disgusting. Kim So-hyun's agency has denied the accusations and will take legal action in response to the revelations. News highlights: internet celebrity teacher Andy accused the YouTube channel Crowd, which he had co-run with his ex-girlfriend Jianing for 10 years, to be taken away by the other party's family, which sparked heated discussions. After breaking up, he was kicked out of all social accounts, removed from his directorship, and asked to sign a share transfer letter and confidentiality clauses. After the incident was exposed, Jianing's family did not respond, but suspected of deleting IG posts, and added a video of entrepreneurial equity distribution to the channel playlist. Netizens sarcastically premeditated, and the message area set off a heated discussion. News highlights: South Korean male god Kim So-hyun was revealed to have been dating Kim Sa-ryan for 6 years, and intimate photos kept leaking. Kim Se-ran's family accused him of forcing debts and causing the woman to commit suicide, which caused a storm of public opinion. Almost all endorsements were lost, and fans were greatly lost. The brokerage company gold medalist has spoken out 3 times, emphasizing that it has clear evidence and will hold a press conference next week to clarify. LU Media reported that a number of brands have deleted Kim So-hyun's advertisements, and beauty brand Dinto has also suspended related plans. News highlights: Wang Delo was criticized for allegedly evading military service, and although he paid 5 million yuan in bail, he still had to enlist in the army to serve in accordance with the law. At 8:56 this morning, he wore a dark green sweater and a dark blue fur hat, and appeared alone at Taipei Main Station together, silent throughout the whole process, without responding to media questions, with a serious expression. Due to the attention, the family members of the male servants on the scene were slightly dissatisfied. He then took a special train to serve at Zenwuri Station, where the on-site staff issued phone cards and explained contact information, and the train departed due to a 16-minute delay. News highlights: Chen Jinghui, a member of the Blue Committee, recently shared a successful birth case in the community, describing a 41-year-old woman who finally became pregnant after experiencing multiple miscarriages under the pressure of family fertility. However, the post sparked a heated debate online, with many netizens criticizing the case for treating women as reproductive tools and questioning whether such oppressive stories should be glorified. In a follow-up response, Chen Jinghui said that the woman and her husband decided to have children after full discussion, and stressed that society should respect everyone's reproductive choices and avoid exerting unnecessary pressure on women. She added that her brother's question was not malicious and that the family was looking forward to the arrival of a new life. News highlights: at the end of 2024, when the Legislative Yuan was reviewing the election and recall law and other cases, a physical conflict broke out between the ruling and opposition legislators, causing a number of DPP legislators to sue the KMT and the People's Party legislators for harm. Chen Yuzhen and other legislators of the Blue Camp confirmed that they had received the summons and accused the DPP of wasting judicial resources by filing a lawsuit, emphasizing that the clashes in the parliamentary arena were normal, offensive and defensive. Democratic Progressive Party legislators stressed that Chen Yuzhen and others had acted excessively and should face their past behavior. The incident sparked a heated debate among the ruling and opposition legislators. News highlights: a serious gas explosion incident occurred on February 13 in Taichung, killing 2 of the 7 people of a 4-generation Macau family who came to Taiwan for sightseeing, and injuring the other 5. During this period, the youngest girl, 2-year-old girl, was seriously injured and stabilized after repeated rescue efforts in Taiwan, and returned to Macau on a medical plane to continue treatment. Sadly, a month later, the girl passed away on March 7 at Conde de Januario General Hospital in Macau, becoming the 5th victim in the air explosion. This tragedy left the family with only 4 members of the family from the original 7, which is deeply regrettable. News highlights: Wang Delu was caught in the whirlpool of public opinion due to military evasion and other controversies, and today, 13th, appeared at Taipei main station to report for enlistment, and was surrounded by the media and the public. It was revealed that he had spent 1 million yuan to try to evade military service, but was finally required to enlist in the army for alternative service in accordance with the law. Although the case is still pending, he still needs to enter the camp in accordance with the regulations and will undergo 26 days of basic training, and whether he will have the opportunity to become Su Guanghan's apprentice in the future is still uncertain. News highlights: Andy complained that after breaking up with Jianing, he was cleaned out by Jianing's family. Not only was his social account privileges removed, but he also failed to receive the fees due to him, and was dismissed as a director. Lawyer Lin Hegan suggested that Andy should file a lawsuit within 6 months, and challenge the registered trademark of Jianing's mother, apply to inspect the company's accounts, and even file the crime of breach of trust or embezzlement, and if he is not authorized, he can also ask for the return of the YouTube account permission, which may be guilty of obstructing computer use. News highlights: the Chinese spouse, a woman surnamed Lu, runs a social media account called Yaya in Taiwan, and frequently makes United Front remarks on platforms such as TikTok and YouTube, advocating the greatness of the motherland and criticizing Taiwan for its confrontation with China. After investigation by the Immigration Bureau, it was confirmed that she had violated the regulations on cross-strait people's relations and decided to revoke her residence permit for relatives in Taiwan and would be repatriated in accordance with the law. Still, Yaya considers her speech to be free speech and questions why other public figures in Taiwan can express similar views. Her remarks sparked a strong reaction from a large number of netizens, many of whom believed that freedom of speech should not be used to justify United Front speech, and even asked her if she could go to China and ask Xi Jinping. Interior Minister Liu Shifeng also stressed that freedom of speech should not be used as a pretext for military reunification or infringement of Taiwan, and said that the matter would be handled in accordance with the law. News highlights: internet celebrity Andy and Jianing officially announced their breakup in October last year, and recently Andy broke the news in the video about the evil behavior of Jianing's family, including uneven salary and equity distribution issues, and said that he was kicked out of the directorship after the breakup. Jianing did not respond positively, but it was found that the number of her Instagram posts had decreased, and netizens speculated that she deleted or hid her posts. After the video was exposed, Andy's YouTube subscribers exceeded 1 million within 32 hours, and the network was strong, with netizens supporting Andy and saying that they would send chicken steaks to speak out for the vulnerable. News highlights: the Hsinchu Municipal Free Car Stadium was originally planned to be the venue of the Shuangbei World Prime Age Games, but the referee's test ride fell and revealed the field problem. Although the city government quickly carried out the renovation, due to the failure of the construction to make time for the event, the World Troop Executive Committee decided to move the free car race to the Taichung City free car lot. Councillors criticized the city for mishandling and wasting huge sums of money. The city responded that it will continue to improve the free car park and fully support the smooth running of the event. News highlights: million YouTuber Andy broke up with Jianing last year, exposing his tragic experience on the Crowdweight channel, accusing Jianing's family of depriving him of his property and rights. Andy revealed that he only received 3 to 55,000 yuan per month, and was forced to sign an equity transfer and confidentiality agreement, and even Jianing's mother stole a registered trademark and forced him out of the company. His video sparked outrage among netizens and garnered a lot of support, with the number of subscribers rushing from 210,000 to 1 million in just 32 hours. Big internet celebrities also stood up to show their support, allowing him to successfully turn over. News highlights: the tired boss recently exposed the financial crisis, accusing the trusted good brother of betrayal and blaming himself for overtrusting, which led to the difficulties of his family and employees. Although stores and live streaming have resumed operations, the funding gap remains unresolved. The tired boss mentioned that when there was a financial problem, the good brother promised to help, but eventually disappeared and threatened him and his family afterwards. The tired boss made public accusations and said that he had the evidence and regretted that he had trusted him too much. News highlights: South Korean actress Kim Se-ryan passed away last year, and recently her family revealed that she dated actor Kim So-hyun when she was 15 years old, and accused Kim So-hyun of forcing her to repay 700 million won, about 15.83 million Taiwan dollars, in compensation, and regarded it as the last straw that crushed Kim Se-ran. Rumors point out that this compensation is not due to a drunk driving accident, but due to liquidated damages for participating in the Hound Dog series. Kim Se-ron was saddled with huge debts after drunk driving in 2022 and faced a demand for repayment from Kim So-hyun's agency, gold medalist, and the situation eventually deteriorated. News highlights internet celebrity Andy recently revealed a long-term conflict with his ex-girlfriend Jeonning and his family, accusing himself of being robbed of the channel he had run for 10 years and having nothing after the breakup. After his film was released on March 11, it quickly attracted a lot of attention, and the number of subscriptions exceeded 1 million in less than 2 days. Many netizens expressed their support and speculated that Andy chose to release the video after Jeonning's birthday, showing that he still took into account the other party's feelings and did not publicly dispute it on her birthday. News highlights South Korean actor Kim So-hyun has been involved in controversy recently, and the agency has issued statements denying the accusations many times, insisting that the rumors are false facts. However, public opinion continued to ferment, and Kim Se-ron's aunt criticized Kim So-hyun in an interview on the 12th, accusing him of denying that he had been in a relationship with Kim Se-ron, and reprimanding him for hurting Kim Se-ron. Mr. Kim's company has issued 2 statements rebutting it and said it would take legal action. The company said on the 13th that it would issue a full response next week. News highlights 33-year-old actor Wang Dalo recently went to Chenggong Ridge in Taichung to serve in the military, and although he is facing injury lawsuits, he still needs to solve the problem of military service. He reported to Taipei main station and sat on the ground with other men to wait for the special train, but did not answer reporters' questions. During the process, the scene was chaotic for a while, and it took about 5 minutes to push. Wang Dalo's desertion is still under investigation and involves evidence of abetment of harm. News highlights Kim So-hyun has recently been involved in controversy, so that the actress Soo Ruizi, who had been rumored to have an affair, was also implicated, and was accused of being a junior in the relationship between Kim So-hyun and Kim Se-ron. Soo Ruizi posted a response at the fan club, saying that he was under great pressure and emphasized that he had nothing to do with Kim So-hyun and his cousin. She also shared the messages she received, denying that she had an inappropriate relationship with Kim So-hyun, and expressed her helplessness and depression to explain the matter. News highlights in 2024, the government's overtaxation hit a new high, and the Kuomintang proposed a draft special regulation on the overtaxation of taxes and the sharing of cash by the whole people, advocating 10,000 yuan in general cash, which sparked heated discussions. Kuomintang legislator Xia Longja pointed out that if President Li Qiang decides to increase the weight, the amount may exceed 10,000 yuan, so as not to be regarded as the same as the blue camp. He said that the general cash fund can help the people more directly, and criticized the government's subsidy for Tay-power is ineffective and will still increase in price. The draft has now been submitted to the committee for review, and whether it will be adopted has yet to be decided. News highlights Apple today, 12th, released the latest iPhone and iPad system updates iOS 18.3.2 and iPadOS 18.3.2, which mainly fix the security vulnerabilities of the WebKit engine in the Safari browser, preventing hackers from attacking through malicious websites and performing unauthorized actions. In addition, the update addresses the issue of streaming content not playing and improves overall security. Apple strongly recommends that users update as soon as possible to prevent the risk of being remotely indulged. This update is an emergency patch that was rolled out only a month later, demonstrating its importance. News highlights 2 men in Shanghai urinated at the bottom of the pot when they were dining in Haidilao, and the video went viral and attracted widespread attention. At first, Haidilao said that it would not pursue the case, but then changed its tune and announced that it had filed a civil lawsuit against the 2 men, and provided free orders to all customers who dined at the restaurant during the incident, and compensated 10 times the cost of the meal, and the compensation amount is expected to exceed 10 million yuan. The incident occurred on February 24, and Haidilao completed the disinfection of tableware on March 8, and stressed that it would be held accountable in accordance with the law. News highlights South Korean actor Kim So-hyun was recently revealed to have been dating Kim Se-ron for 6 years and was involved in the controversy over Kim Se-ron's death, and Kim Se-ron's family accused Kim So-hyun of being the driving force behind it. Subsequently, actor Soo Ruizi was also accused of being the junior of the Shuangjin relationship, and responded for the first time on the 13th, saying that he was also facing great pressure, and clarified that he had nothing to do with Kim So-hyun and his cousin. She publicly responded to fan questions and said she was tired and saddened by these misunderstandings. News highlights recently, there has been a gambling turmoil in the entertainment industry, and a rumor alleges that super first-line male stars owe sky-high gambling debts in Macau, involving artists such as J-Jo and Huang Xiaoming. Huang Xiaoming responded to the rumors and humorously said, "Happy beans." Denied it with ease. J-Cho's agency also issued a statement, emphasizing that the rumors have nothing to do with J-Jo, and called on the outside world not to spread the rumors. This incident sparked heated discussions and involved a number of well-known artists. News highlights Andy and Jeonning, the couple file of the Crowd channel, recently broke out in a storm due to their breakup. Andy accused Jeonning's mother and daughter of forcing him away, causing the channel he worked so hard to run disappearing, and causing dissatisfaction among netizens, and even began to search Ji Euning's family. A few days ago, some netizens went to the factory run by Ji Euning's father to make trouble, but after the police arrived at the scene, they found that only 4 people played mobile games, and there was no illegal behavior, which was confirmed to be a false alarm. The incident continues to spark online discussions and provoke fierce reactions from netizens. News highlights the 34 recall cases in Taiwan have entered the second stage, but none of the DPP legislators have passed the first stage. People's Party Chairman Wang Quoxiong said he was a little surprised by the result and believed that there was still a chance to make amends. He stressed that assistance to the Blue Battalion will be provided after its needs and tactics are put forward, so as to avoid spontaneous intervention and influence on the other side. Huang Quoxiong pointed out that the recall requires a lot of mobilization resources, and the DPP may focus on key areas to assist, and reiterated that the DPP's approach is not conducive to Taiwan's democracy, and the People's Party will continue to pay attention. News highlights Kuomintang legislator Luo Tinggui was recently exposed to a robbery case with his stepbrother, and questioned whether he knew about it. Luo Tinggui responded, emphasizing that he could not choose to be born, but would work hard to serve the society. He said that his stepbrother had a criminal record in the past, had completed his sentence and returned to society, and asked everyone not to attack or raid his family. He stressed that he came from an ordinary family and worked hard for his hometown, regretted being smeared, and was determined to continue to serve the people and promote the progress of Taichung. News highlights NVIDIA will hold its annual GTC conference from March 17 to 21, and is expected to announce new products such as GB300 servers, and focus on artificial intelligence, digital twins, and other fields. The conference attracted funds to enter the relevant supply chain groups early, and the stock prices in the fields of robotics, water cooling, and battery backup performed strongly. On the 13th, the stock prices of Nexcom, Chineo, and Tsubaki all rushed up to the limit, driving the rise of related groups. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang will deliver a keynote speech at 1 a.m. on the 19th. News highlights Yang Jinlong, governor of the central bank, pointed out in a report to the Finance Committee of the Legislative Yuan on the 13th that although electricity prices may be raised in April, the impact on CPI is not great according to the past adjustment. Regarding whether there will be pressure to raise interest rates due to the increase in electricity prices, Yang Jinlong said that the inflation trend has slowly declined, and the annual growth rate of CPI is expected to continue to decline. The central bank will pay close attention to the 4 major indicators to decide whether to raise interest rates, and stressed that the CPI forecast for this year is between 1.7% and 2.3%, and there are risk factors such as international politics and weather. News highlights TSMC announced an increase in investment of $100 billion in the United States, and Yang Jinlong, president of the central bank, said on the 13th that the funds will not be remitted in a centralized manner in the short term, so it will not have a significant impact on the exchange rate of the new Taiwan dollar. The Foreign Exchange Bureau of the central bank discussed the matter with TSMC's financial department, pointing out that TSMC's annual revenue growth and foreign exchange income can support investment needs, and the investment will be dispersed over several years. In addition, TSMC can also issue foreign currency bonds to support this investment and reduce the impact on the foreign exchange market. News highlights Intel has announced the appointment of Lai Wuchen as its new CEO, expecting him to lead the company back to glory. Lai Wuchen has more than 20 years of experience in the semiconductor and software industry, having served as CEO of Cadence Design Systems and has achieved success in the venture capital industry. In 2022, he was invited to join Intel's board of directors to help revitalize the company, but resigned from the board due to disagreements with former CEO Henry Kissinger. Chen Lai will officially take over on March 18 and said that he will make every effort to turn around Intel's business situation and lead the company to success in the face of challenges. News highlights the Ministry of Transport will announce the first safety guidelines for the light transmittance of thermal insulation paper in June, and plans to complete the training of testing equipment by the end of December, ending the 50-year situation of not being managed. Chen Shikai said the guidelines will stipulate the light transmittance of car windshields and windows, and set specific standards for taxis. The Ministry of Communications will procure professional instruments and communicate with the industry to ensure that the products in the market meet safety standards. He emphasized that the transport reform will be people-oriented, and safety will prevail over privacy. News highlights Kim So-hyun has recently been embroiled in controversy, and public opinion has quickly fermented about his relationship with Kim Se-ron and other revelations. Although his agency has issued several statements emphasizing that the allegations are false, the controversy has not subsided. On the 12th, Kim So-hyun's company issued another statement and said that it would make a unified and complete response next week. Kim Se-ron's aunt also publicly scolded Kim So-hyun, accusing him of denying his relationship with Kim Se-ron, and emphasizing that Kim Se-ron had chosen to leave YG because of love and signed with Kim So-hyun's company instead. The turmoil is still ongoing. News highlights the A13 branch of Bailin Tea Room, Xinyi District, Taipei City, was poisoned by the buncreolic acid toxin caused by improper storage of kwaijiao, resulting in 6 deaths and 24 injuries. The Taipei District Prosecutor's Office decided to compensate family members in accordance with the law on the protection of the rights and interests of crime victims, with a total of 1.8 million yuan per household, for a total of 10.8 million yuan. The person in charge of the restaurant and related personnel have been prosecuted in accordance with the food safety law and the criminal law, and the supervision yuan has proposed corrections to the investigation process. News highlights: the family of South Korean actress Kim Sae-ryan recently accused Kim So-hyun of dating Kim Sae-ryan for 6 years since he was 15 years old, and borrowed 700 million won after the drunk driving incident and demanded repayment. Kim So-hyun's agency, gold medalist, denied the accusations and said it would make its position public based on evidence next week. Kim So-hyun plans to take a stand and clarify the relevant doubts. News highlights: on March 11, Andy uploaded a video exposing the revenue of the channel with his ex-girlfriend Jianing and his family, which attracted the attention of netizens and caused the number of subscribers to his YouTube channel to soar from 218,000 to 1 million, becoming the fastest YouTuber in Taiwan to achieve this achievement. In the film, Andy reveals that he has only received a fixed salary for the past 10 years and has not received the income distribution he deserves. The film became popular, and the number of views exceeded 6 million in just 2 days, which became a turning point in his career. News highlights: it has been a month since Su Ziwan died, and the family is still in deep grief. S.'s mother, Huang Chunmei, recently reposted the post "Keep your grief to yourself" on the social platform for 8 consecutive times on the 10th of last month, causing netizens to pay attention to her physical and mental condition. Xiao S and Gu Junyi have also attracted much attention due to their injuries, and Xiao S rarely replies to messages, while Gu Junyi said that it takes time. According to reports, S.'s ashes will be placed in Jinbei's hand, a decision that Gu Junyi will handle personally, and hopes that his family can be respected and private. News highlights: retired Major General Li Zhenjie said that Last Sun hid in the United States and did not serve as soldiers, and later apologized and admitted that it was not true. The Democratic Progressive Party clarified that Li Zi served in accordance with the law, and netizens found out that his second son had served in substitute service. Zhang Kekai, a legislator of the People's Party, believes that Li should make public his discharge order to dispel his doubts and learn from Chen Shuibian's practice of emphasizing the service of his children. He stressed the honor of serving as a soldier and called on the government to promote cross-strait peace and prevent young people from going to war. News highlights: in 2024, the tax will be exceeded, and the Kuomintang will propose to issue 10,000 yuan in cash, which will spark discussion. Xia Longzhi believes that if Li King distributes it, the amount will be different from that of Lanying, and may be more than 12,000 yuan, so as to avoid being accused of cutting rice tails. He stressed that paying taxes to the people is better than subsidizing Taiwan power, and pointed out that Li King had good fiscal discipline in the past, but the current president has made the executive branch insist on increasing the defense budget. The proposal has passed the first reading and is still pending review of resolutions by the legislature. News highlights: on the 15th, the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, launched a policy lecture on "The People Are the First Family," the first of which focused on the counties and cities of the recall of the Blue Committee. In this regard, former legislator Shen Fuqiang suggested that the KMT should simultaneously go to the countryside to oppose the interpretation and use the DPP's recent remarks to fight back. Zhao Xiaokong proposed that the KMT should send people to listen to and record the lectures, and hold a press conference to refute them one by one, so as to check and balance the DPP's arguments and make it dare not speak nonsense. News highlights: a female rider surnamed Liu in Hsinchu hit and killed a woman surnamed Huang who ran a red light and crossed the road early last morning, and was prosecuted by the prosecutor for negligent death. After the trial, the court held that the yellow woman had run a red light when crossing the zebra crossing, and the sky was dark, so Liu failed to respond in time, and the responsibility for the accident was mainly on the Huang woman, so Liu was not guilty. News highlights: the Meteorological Administration issued a special report on heavy rain in 11 counties and cities, including the north coast of Keelung, Taipei, New Taipei, Dawin and other places, which are prone to short-term heavy rainfall and must be protected from lightning strikes and stagnant water. In addition, thunderstorms in Dawin, Taipei and northern New Zealand lasted until 12:30, and Taichung, Hsinchu, Meili and other places lasted until 11:30, reminding the public to pay attention to heavy rainfall and low visibility. The high temperature is about 25 degrees in the north, 27 to 30 degrees in other areas, and the temperature is 18 to 22 degrees in the early morning at night. News highlights: Andy, a $1 million YouTuber, accused Jianning's family of taking away the channel and trademark, and losing control of the channel that had been running for 10 years. The lawyer pointed out that Jianning's mother registered a trademark on April 1, 2020, which may have violated the trademark law and the criminal law. Andy has until October 16 this year to apply for revocation, but should act as soon as possible. This matter has sparked heated discussions, and netizens are concerned about the breakdown of trust and the distribution of rights. News highlights: since October 2024, Taipei MRT has strengthened its advocacy of standing on both sides of the escalator, which has sparked heated discussions. A male college student saw people standing on the left and right at the Gongguan station, and praised the high quality of NTU students, but it attracted the retort of the top college students, thinking that this had nothing to do with the school, but only the influence of the human trend. Some netizens believe that the platform is crowded due to full standing on both sides, and opening the left side of the road can alleviate the crowd, and discuss the differences of opinion between the two factions. News highlights Defense Minister Gu Liqiang went to the Legislative Yuan today to report on the progress of the crash and maintenance of the Yanjing higher education plane, and confirmed that the front fuselage and black box of the number 1130 plane have been recovered. He stressed that the cause of the crash has not yet been determined, and it is still necessary to analyze factors such as machinery and environment. The plane crashed in the waters of Taitung on February 15 due to the failure of its twin engines, and the pilot successfully ejected and escaped. The Air Force commissioned a civilian company to salvage the equipment, which was delayed due to the influence of the northeast monsoon, and after the weather stabilized yesterday, the key equipment was successfully salvaged and sent for analysis. News highlights YouTuber Han Quaran questioned the revocation of the residence of the mainland internet celebrity Yaya in Taiwan for advocating military reunification by the Immigration Department, but there was no relevant footage. He personally checked the channel and sent a private message to Yaya, who denied inciting reunification and stressed advocating peace. Some netizens criticized the ruling party's double standards, believing that the case may involve political acts, and questioned whether it was deliberately hyping up hatred. Yaya published a self-statement, emphasizing that the marriage is real, and the audience of the film is mainly Chinese netizens, and the impact on Taiwan is limited. News highlights during the questioning by the Judicial and Legal Affairs Committee of the Legislative Yuan, Kuomintang legislator Luo's Haiqiang questioned the investigation of the Jing Huachen case by the Beijing Procuratorate, pointing out that Shen Qingjing was suspected of being improperly interrogated while he was on medical parole. Shen's lawyer broke the news that the prosecution conducted a 2-hour interrogation in the hospital, but the audio and video recordings were only 2 minutes. Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, legislator Wang Yushuan was dissatisfied with the response of Wu Zongxian, the presiding officer of the meeting, and roared angrily and accused Wu Zongxian of answering individual questions. Wu Zongxian replied that if you don't understand the meeting, sit down, which caused a dispute in the venue and the situation was tense. News highlights Kuomintang legislator Luo Tinggui has been caught in a recall storm in recent days and has been accused of pressuring the medical system and related to his stepbrother's past criminal record. In this regard, Luo Tinggui publicly clarified, emphasizing that he was not involved in his stepbrother's case, and said that the family's past does not represent his personal choice. He appealed to the public not to attack or raid his family, stressing that he had grown up in an ordinary family and was committed to serving the community, and regretted the negative labeling of his hometown and family. Luo Tinggui said that although he was attacked, he will continue to serve the citizens of Taichung and promote more construction and progress. News highlights according to a Reuters/Ipsos poll, more than half of Americans believe that Trump's economic policies are unstable, particularly the imposition of high tariffs on imported goods, leading to a global trade war and affecting the stock market. Despite this, the public expects him to continue his efforts to curb high prices. Trump's policy changes, such as the withdrawal of tariffs on Canada and then the removal, have unnerved markets, with the S&P 500 having lost more than $3 trillion in market value since its new high in February. News highlights the Kuomintang proposed special regulations on the sharing of cash by the whole people in excess tax collection, proposing 10,000 yuan in cash for the whole people, and successfully read it on the 7th. According to an online poll, nearly 8% of netizens support this proposal. The Finance Committee held a public hearing on the 10th to ask the Controller and Controller for their views on the proposal, and the Controller said that it would take at least 3 months to implement the general cash payment, and if it was approved in May, the cash could be received in August and September at the earliest. News highlights South Korean actress Kim Se-ryan was born in February, and after the incident, YouTuber Hung Seo Research Institute broke the news that Kim So-hyun had dated Kim Se-ryan when he was a minor, and accused Kim So-hyun of being the cause of his death. Kim So-hyun has insisted that the allegations are false and has publicly stated that he will issue a full response next week. Kim Se-ryan's aunt denounced Kim So-hyun, revealing that he had taken the initiative to approach Kim Se-ryan, and emphasized that the two had a large age gap and insisted on dating despite the opposition of their families. Kim So-hyun's agency has said it will take legal action against the disinformation. News highlights Wang Dalu officially reported to the army this morning, 13th, wearing high-priced sneakers and carrying brand-name bags, waiting with other men, and finally taking a special car to Chenggong Ridge. A soldier said with a smile that he and his friends came to see Wang Dalu off, and revealed that he was looking forward to washing dishes with him in the army. Another 22-year-old soldier was surprised by Wang's age, calling him so old. After Wang Dalu enlisted in the army, he would report his safety and receive a phone card according to the regulations, and it remains to be seen whether he will comply with the regulations. News highlights labor insurance and occupational accident regulations have recently been adjusted to benefit workers. First of all, workers who are on leave for work can receive 100% of their salary for the first 3 months, instead of 70%. In addition, if a traffic accident occurs on the way to and from work, the Labor Insurance Bureau allows the payment to be determined according to the navigation route of Google Map, eliminating cumbersome procedures and reducing the burden on labor. Workers should note that in the event of a job-related disaster, the difference will be subsidized by the employer, and the commute can be based on the actual route, but the change of route should not deviate too far.